From late night parties to sun-soaked ports, we're breaking down what it's really like to sail Virgin Voyages, Greek island glow itinerary, and why this adults-only cruise might be your next dream getaway. Welcome back to Earstravagant Adventures. I'm your host and travel agent bestie, Rachel, and joining me, as always, is Katie, everyone's favorite travel chaos coordinator. And today we are switching gears a little bit. If you can tell, we're not wearing ears. We are switching from theme parks and family travel to something a little more grown up. I just got back from a Virgin Voyages Greek island glow itinerary, and I cannot wait to spill all the tea. What makes Virgin different, the ports we explored, and whether it really lives up to the hype. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's set sail together. But first, a word from our sponsor. Hello and welcome to Alonzi Travel Vacation Destination Center. Our talented team cannot wait to send you on a vacation of fantasy and excitement to places where magic is just around the corner. We are passionate about making your Disney, Universal, or cruise vacation a reality and are here for you every step of the way. We will manage all aspects of your trip, including reservations, magical experiences, and to top it off, a custom itinerary made especially for you. Get in touch with us by visiting alonzi-travel.com, Facebook, or Instagram to start your journey today. Make sure to like and follow for the most up-to-date information. Where will you go next? If you couldn't tell from my shirt today, we are talking about Virgin Voyages. By the way, this is a Spirit jersey.
What?
And by the way, I had to size up. This is
What?
yeah, this is an extra large because the medium was like too tight. I don't know.
This is Bizarro World.
It's so bizarre. I was so confused. I think it's because it's like a women's cut instead of like
Yeah,
their boxy, but it's sparkly. It says Virgin Voyages on it. I had to
it's
have
cute.
it. I had to have it. So,
Yeah.
Katie, take it away.
All right. So, trip recap. So, I'm going to be interviewing Rachel today. And obviously, she just got back from her Virgin Voyage Greek Island Glow. Oh, that's cute. Is
My
that,
goodness.
oh my gosh, I
We'll
love
get
it.
to it. We'll get to it.
So, tell us about the ship. What ship were you on?
So I always look, Virgin Voyages, all their ships are kind of identical, and I always forget the name of the ship that I'm on. I'm pretty sure I was on the Resilient Lady.
Okay, we're going to go with that. The Brazilian lady. What type of cabin did you have? I'm sure you had a balcony veranda.
Always.
Always.
At this point in my life will never get less than a balcony ever. We switched it up. So the first Virgin we did the extra large sea terrace. This time
The
I did
hammock.
a well, they all the sea terraces
Oh,
have a yes.
okay, good.
So the extra large just has a larger balcony.
Hmm.
So this time we did a central sea terrace because the extra large, I didn't love the bathroom layout. I thought it was kind of
Okay.
weird. So I wanted to try a different sea terrace just to see. I'm gonna do an extra large sea terrace next time. Okay?
Okay, so that was the better option.
Yes, I will tell you why. Two reasons. The extra large balcony is top tier. Okay. Having the extra space was really nice. You can't really super spread out in the hammock without having that space. So that was needed.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I didn't like that the mirror for the bathroom was right by where you would like get changed and stuff, as much as I didn't like that, the shower was bigger. The toilet
Oh,
was in its own room. So like I could be taking a shower and somebody could be taking a bathroom break. Okay. But it also had a lot more counter space.
oh, I love that.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
sink in the central sea terrace was like the size of my laptop. So every time I would wash my face, the water would get all over the bath mat on the floor and like get on me because the sink was so small. I'm like, okay, okay. I
It's
will
a
be getting an extra
teeny tiny.
large sea terrace from now on.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
because the bedroom space was about the same. Like I didn't love
Hmm.
where how they have their closets and stuff. Like that's still a little bit of a pet peeve with me, but overall, extra large sea terrace is where it's at. Yep. Yep.
Got it.
Rockstar
All
Court
right.
would have been nice, but they were all sold out and I couldn't do a bid. So we were fine. We were
Oh, do
fine.
they have bids?
Yeah, you can bid on upgrades. But I knew that all of those cabins were already booked and I didn't want to bother with a bid because I mean people can cancel last minute, of course, but I was just like, I don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
But yes, you can place bids.
I'm the same. I with Disney and Royal, I've looked to see how many cabins are open in the category above me. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly today. But what was your itinerary? Where were we going on this
Yes.
Greek glow?
I picked this sailing specifically for this itinerary. It started and ended in Athens, Greece. It went to Santorini, Greece, Rhodes, Greece, Bodrum, Turkey, a day at sea, and an overnight port, so 2 days in Mykonos, and then back to Athens.
That sounds lovely. Is
I
that
know.
what happened?
No, we'll get to it
Did you,
though.
did you move my questions in the show notes? They feel out of order. Did I do that or did you move
I
them?
touched nothing.
I did that. That's
Yeah.
weird. We're gonna move this.
Move that.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about the ports then. Cool. Um,
Yeah, move that. It didn't flow well.
yeah, so my favorite port, I enjoyed all of them. The problem is we didn't go to Mykonos. Okay. And that was the two ports that I wanted to go to. And the reason I picked this cruise was because I wanted to go to Santorini and I want to go to Mykonos. I didn't really care
Mhm.
about Bodrum. I didn't really care about Rhodes, which you don't have that in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add it.
Add it.
I cared about Mykonos and we ended up not going because the winds were really bad. Let me explain something additionally so this will make sense. Santorini and Mykonos, they are tender ports. And what that means is there is no cruise dock on these. There's no space to do that. So the boats are anchored offshore and you have to take, for lack of a better word, a dinghy from the cruise ship to the dock. Like it's not a
Mhm.
pier like you see in traditional cruise areas. It's a regular like where regular people tie up boats. So you have to take it's called a tender from your cruise ship to the island. Now, when the winds are really bad, regular ships will they don't care that you're on it. They don't care. You will throw your guts up. They don't even care. But cruise
Mhm.
ships, they won't do that to you. So like the surf was just too rough to have tender boats. Like the ship could have been anchored and it would have been fine. But the tenders, that was where it was a safety issue.
And you don't want to just drop anchor and be like, look, you can see it, but you
Right.
can't go there.
Right. Right. So, we talked to a couple crew members and they said out of the 7 sailings that they did on this itinerary this year, they've only been able to port 3 times. Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I
I
have a question about that we're going to get down to at the
Okay.
bottom.
Okay.
I don't want to jump ahead.
I talked to someone. When we talk about eateries, we'll talk about this. But the couple sitting next to us at Extra Virgin, we got to talking, and they said that a friend of theirs had tried to get to Mykonos on a cruise 3 times and has never been. So this is like, guys, this is why we do this, okay? Because I didn't know that Mykonos was a place where you may or may not be able to tender. I didn't know that. I thought there's no way possible we're not going to Mykonos. Joke's
Yeah.
on me because I didn't research where other ports we could be. So I was pissed off when we went to Crete.
Oh,
I ended up in
yeah.
loving Crete, actually. I ended up loving it.
Okay.
But I
Wonderful.
was pissed.
Hmm.
I was pissed. Okay?
And you
So,
were trying to think like we tell clients, it's okay, you're still having a good time, but you're like, man, I did all this to go here.
literally,
Yeah.
literally. So
Yeah.
I still am pissed about it. That's why I have my Mykonos mug because when I was in Athens, I stopped by a Starbucks. If you guys have known me for a long period of time, you know that I collect these specific "You Are Here" Starbucks mugs, and they only make them internationally now. So I was in an Athens one, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have Greece, they have Athens, they have Rhodes, and they have Mykonos. Great, I can get them all here, and I don't have to worry about getting them at the port. Great. Joke's on me. Anyways, so
So now
Athens,
you have a bug from somewhere you've never.
I don't even want to talk about it. It taunts me actually. It's staring at me saying, "Well, now you have to go back, obviously." So, we'll talk about it in a second. Athens. If you're traveling internationally, minimum arrive 2 days early. Minimum.
Yes, yes, very much.
2 days.
Yes.
Because this is this is the easiest flights I've ever had.
Really? Tell me
I
about that. Tell me about the flight.
Yeah, so I made sure my connections were minimum 2 hours between
Yes.
because I wasn't playing. I was traveling by myself. Don't talk to me about it. I was traveling by myself. So my first flight was from Houston to Newark, and Newark earlier in the year had tons of issues, tons of
Yeah. Yeah.
TSA, tons of issues. So I'm like, there was a flight that had a tighter connection, but I'm like, I'm okay sitting in the airport for 2 hours if it means I don't have to stress. So that was perfectly fine. I sat in the
Like
United
sitting in the
Lounge.
airport.
Well, I have the club card, so I was in the United
Yeah, like
Lounge.
I don't know. Is that weird? I like
No,
being in the airport. I okay.
no, it's not weird because then you like are at peace and you're not stressing yourself out.
I'm like, I'm about to go somewhere. There's
Yeah,
snacks available everywhere.
yeah,
Like
it's
I like being in the airport.
it's fine. So that flight, no issues. And then to Newark to Athens, no issues there. We actually arrived an hour early
That's awesome.
to Athens. Yeah. My eSIM didn't work, and I was have my taxi driver didn't show up for 45 minutes because he was tracking my flight but couldn't be bothered to come early. So I was triggered. I was so triggered.
Oh no.
But it's fine. I got to my hotel. The room wasn't ready, which was fine because it was like 10
You're
a.m.
early. Yeah.
I should have changed my reservation to arrive the night before. It's fine. No big deal. So I get there, they store my bags, I change my clothes, I get my eSIM to work. I'm exploring the city. It is so much hotter than I expected.
Oh, how hot was it?
Like it was how hot it is in Houston. It was in the low 90s.
Oh, was it humid though?
No, no,
No, no humidity. Okay.
no. But like every time I travel in the fall, it's further north longitudinal wise. So it's
Mhm.
cooler. And like my brain was like, well, it's in Europe. It's gonna be no, it's in the Mediterranean, dummy. It's not cooler.
Yeah. It's a very tropical climate, ma'am.
Yeah, it's Mediterranean climate. So it was hot. But luckily like all my dresses and stuff were perfect for a hot
Mm,
climate. So I walked around. I didn't have anything really planned except for a food tour that night. So I
hmm
went to they have some markets there. I went to some architectural things and then my food tour. I was so tired.
I bet.
Because like I didn't sleep really great on the flight because the
Mm.
woman next to me would not stop touching me. Would
Touching you how? Like arm
like
to arm?
she would I eventually I told Joe like she was touching me so much I would start like doing this. And I was on the aisle. So like she just would not my ADHD with being touched for 9 hours, I was
Yeah.
losing it.
Especially being a stranger, like someone you don't know.
And
Like,
she had her husband next to her. So like touch him. Why do you have to touch me? I
mm,
aspire to have an income where I am business class. So
yeah. Yeah.
we're not there
Especially
yet.
on those really, really long flights.
Yeah,
Like
we're not there yet.
international flights, if you can swing business or
Yeah.
first, like do
Yeah,
that.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was walking around the city for a while, and then after I had like a lunch, I was just so tired. So I headed back to the hotel, and my room was ready. I took an
Yay.
hour and a half nap. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
and I should have just not gone to my food tour. I was so tired, but the food tour was good. We had a great Slovaki pita. We had a great I don't even know what it is, but it's like a puff pastry stuffed with feta and spinach. That was great.
Oh, that's oh, I always say it wrong, but I know how to spell it.
Sure,
It's
it's that.
like
Sure.
spanakopita or something like
Sure.
that.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Okay.
I was half asleep, so even if you said it wrong, I wouldn't even know what you if you were wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had that, and then we had the pita, and then we had like traditional meats and cheeses, and then we had kind of a bigger spread with tzatziki and like a bunch of
Mm,
tapas style stuff, and then we had the traditional Greek donut hole type dessert.
that
So we had a
sounds
lot of food.
so
It was
good.
great. I went back to it was 8 o'clock. Okay, I went back to the hotel. I slept. I went to bed 9:30, and I woke
Hmm.
up the next day at
Yeah.
6:30. I got slept.
Was your jet lag gone then?
For the most part, I would say. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I slept like the dead. It was
Hmm.
great. So, and the next day I had my private tour in the morning, and that private
Hmm.
tour was just a walking tour of the city plus the Acropolis. Acropolis.
Hmm. What's
Acropolis?
the Acropolis?
Thank you. It's a term used for like worship centers of
Okay.
deities. So in Athens, Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, she is their deity. And she's on the hill. That's what you
Hmm.
see. And it's for her because she's their patron saint, if you will. I love private tours because they are what you want them to be. So when we started, she said, "What are you interested in Greece?" And I said, "Greek mythology, ma'am."
Absolutely, that was the correct answer.
Yes, I
That was
want to hear
it.
nothing else but Greek mythology. And
Yeah.
she was
We don't care
in.
about architecture. We don't care about any of that. Greek mythology.
Like mix in the architecture stuff, but like it needs to be. So it was great. Everything she pointed out was she had amazing stories. She told me Dionysus's story. She showed me like the birthplace of theater. You'll love this. Okay. So
Okay,
we're
I'm excited.
we're walking up the Acropolis. I can't say Acropolis today. I apologize. My brain is having a stroke. I apologize. Um, we're walking up, and the bottom level is Dionysus's altar where they would do sacrifices and things like that.
Mm,
And then there's his theater, which is kind of crumbled, but it's his theater. And then there's this other place, it's an agora. So agora is a term for okay, two parts you'll love. Okay, agora is a marketplace.
yes.
Does it sound like agoraphobia?
Yes. The outside, the place I don't like to go.
No, agoraphobia is the fear of being around lots of people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Leaving the house. Agoraphobia is when you won't leave the house.
No, well, it's where you're afraid of being around people.
Yeah.
Yeah, which can translate into not leaving the house. Yes, but it's the fear of being around people. And I just thought it was fascinating because I'm like, well, okay, I forget that Greek is a root of so many things, so many
Hmm.
words. So like her being like, oh yeah, this is the agora, and I'm like, oh, marketplace, tons of people. I get it. And
Yeah.
that's where she said the comment about the Phoenicians.
Oh, she did. Did she
She
think that?
literally said, because I was like, because the Greek alphabet is very unique. And I was like, oh, and I said that. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, it's based on the alphabet created by the Phoenicians. And I said, oh, thank the Phoenicians. And she looked at me like I was so stupid. And I was like, I'm sorry. It's from Epcot at Walt Disney World. It's a ride. I'm sorry.
And then you handed her a business card and said, when
Oh
you're ready
my
to thank the
God.
Phoenicians,
Yeah, it was
call me.
hilarious. It was hilarious. So at the Agora is where she
Yeah.
said, "This is
I'm
where
I just
this is where people bought the original souvenirs." And I died. I died. I'm like, okay, first of all, I just feel like souvenirs is a very modern thing, but it's
yeah.
not. Like people bought souvenirs in the BC
Hmm.
times, and just the way she was saying it, I was cracking up. Like, this is where you bought your trinkets and souvenirs, ma'am. You're hilarious. Anyways, so she's taking me up the Acropolis and we're talking about Athena and
Hmm.
Nike, the goddess of victory, and like it's
Yes.
just amazing. And then she ends the tour there, and then I go have lunch, another great spot in the Plaka. I am exploring some more. And then I had dinner at a rooftop bar.
Oh, I bet that was lovely.
Man, rooftop bars are everywhere because the Acropolis is up on a hill. So everything else
Hmm.
is below it because Athena has to be above
Yeah.
everybody. It's fine.
Yeah.
So tons of rooftop bars. I had made a reservation. I made a reservation, Bar 360. I do recommend their cocktails are super weird, which is why I picked it. Their food was great. The service
Didn't you
staff
have
was
like a peanut
great.
butter and jelly
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there was a really long line to get in, and I was really early for my reservation. So I was like, that's fine. I'll just wait in line. No big deal. I have a reservation, but I'm early. So I get to the top and it's my turn, and I look at the hostess and I'm like, hi, I have a reservation. And she's like, why did you wait in that, like nicely? Why did you wait in that line? You could have just come up
Yeah.
to the front. I was like, well, I'm early. I didn't know. They were all so nice. And then my waiter comes over and super friendly. And I'm like, well, what would do you recommend the cocktails here or wine? And he's like, cocktails. I'm like, good. I want a good cocktail. And he like fist bumped me. I'm like, he's like, you're my kind of person. Like, fantastic. Love that. So I had cocktails there and the food was really good. And then the next day is the day we were leaving for the cruise, but we
Hmm.
didn't have to be at the port until 1:30. So we did a workout class, which was okay. It wasn't exactly what I
It was
expected.
thinking it wasn't that
Um,
great.
I thought the workout class was going to be in the Olympic Stadium, but it was
Yeah.
across the street from the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, that's BS.
And then we took a tour of the Olympic Stadium, and I couldn't even run around the track at the Olympic Stadium because it was being set up for a concert. So,
Okay. Yeah. Like, yeah, you thought you were gonna work. Yeah. Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that was a little bumsky. So then we went back to the hotel, we changed, and then we got on the cruise, and our adventure begins. Yes. So the first day,
Okay.
obviously, you're getting acquainted with the ship, you're booking any last minute things. So Virgin still unique to Virgin, a lot of things you can't book until you are on the ship's Wi-Fi, and even then, not until like 2 or 3 o'clock. So workout classes, alcohol tastings, um, spa
Do,
appointments, like
do you find that that is a more fair booking system, or do you like Disney's tiered booking system for loyalty for people?
this is so bratty of me. I hate it, but it is more fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
As
more
a
fair.
planner, I hate it because like
Yeah.
I would want to book that in advance, but like some people don't like to plan.
Yeah.
Like, some people just want to be like, oh, well, whatever looks fun at the moment, we'll
Well, and
do
that's
it.
my feedback for them is like, I wish you would just like give me the lineup so then I can at least see what my options are instead of having to like last minute scramble to get things booked. I don't like that. Like, I want to know what are my options before. If even if you don't let
Hmm.
me book it until I'm on the ship, at least show me what it is. So,
Yeah.
and then my other priority was to get a tattoo appointment.
I know. I love that. Saw it on your Instagram story. May get one myself.
I mean,
Um,
so
yeah,
good.
I was very impressed and I love it.
So, unique to Virgin is they have tattoo parlors on board. How many artists are on board vary by ship. The Valiant Lady that I think I was on the Valiant Lady had four. This one, it's a smaller one. It only had two. So they have rotational artists and Squid Ink, which is the company that manages the tattoo
Hmm.
parlors, they'll post in their stories who the artists are. So I did research both of them in
Oh,
advance.
nice.
One of them was not my style.
Hmm.
Lovely man, not my style.
Hmm.
The other guy, obviously, was
Well,
he.
and that's nice to know because we're talking about permanent art on your body.
Hmm.
And I'm sure that there are some people who would not care and they would just be like, oh,
Yeah,
whoever's in there.
yeah.
Maybe in my early 20s, I would have been that way, like whoever. But if I were to get another tattoo at this point, I would seriously
Hmm.
research
Hmm.
who is putting art on my body.
Exactly. And there were people like
Hmm.
there was a couple people in line before when they opened at 7 to get appointments, and there were some people that were like, "I'll have whoever," and I'm like, "No,
No.
I
Yeah.
researched you, my guy." And by the way, he was from Nottingham and had the swooshy mustache that was waxed and everything.
Yeah.
He was He was great. He
A
was really great.
vibe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I we ended up canceling our dinner reservation that day because it was at 6:30 and the tattoo appointments opened at 7 and I very specifically wanted my tattoo done on our last day. So I wanted to make sure we were there when it opened so I could get my choice of times. So we just ate
Hmm.
at the galley, which is like it's their buffet but not.
Yeah.
And we watched their new show Persephone.
Was it good?
It
What
was
was it about?
Persephone. Yes.
Got it.
It was exactly the story of Persephone and the acrobatics between her and Hades. It was
Good.
hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. I'm just
Like
gonna say,
spicy?
yeah. Well,
Rated X.
no, because it's an acro. It's like their version of Cirque du Soleil.
It was sensual.
It wasn't though, but it was just because they were like the Hades. They're like dark, right? They're wearing like
Yeah.
leather and stuff.
Yeah. This
And
was book top worthy,
yeah,
huh? The
yeah,
book talk girlies would appreciate this.
yeah. It
Okay,
was definitely giving Feyre and Rhysand. Okay.
got it.
Got it.
There.
Great. It was great. We were going to see it again, but we ended up not seeing it again. Anyways, so that was our first day. You're getting settled in, you're getting to know the ship. We had my pizza, we had gelato, we had the greatest time. Next day is at Santorini. Santorini is a tendered
Woo.
port.
Yes.
When you book a shore thing, that's what they call their shore excursions. When
Hmm.
you book a shore thing through Virgin, your tender is already set up. So you don't have to book
Nice.
a tender time. All cruise lines, you have to book a tender time because there's only so many people that can fit on the boat at
Mhm.
a time. So you have to book a tender time. We didn't have to do that because we had our shore excursion booked. This one was visiting wineries and Ia, which is where the blue domes are. The wineries are
Nice.
a trash
Trash.
to me because
Okay.
Santorini is the remnants of a volcano. Okay, there's an
Hmm.
active volcano, Santorini. So the soil is very acidic, which means
Yeah.
the wine is very acidic. I don't love acidic wine.
No.
Not my
That's a
vibe.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was nice to try. Not my vibe.
Hmm.
Our tour guide was great. She told us tons of information about the island, most of which I don't remember. It's fine. But she was great. We only
Thanks.
had 20
Thanks
minutes
for
in,
not remembering.
I'm sorry. We only had 20 minutes in Ia.
Okay,
Mhm.
I have read things like that before where you feel like you're going to get to spend a lot of time and it's going to look like the pictures with the white buildings and the blue domes and you're going to get to roam all willy-nilly and then they're like you didn't get to do any of that. You just got to see them.
Well, if we had gone on our own, we could have spent as much time as we wanted. And I really, the problem is the island is spread out. So where the boat, you get back on the boat is Fira. Ia
Mm-hmm.
is 30 minutes from Fia. So that's why we
30
couldn't.
minutes via car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why we couldn't stay there is because they wanted to get us back to where the ship was going to pick us up. And again, this is why we do what we do. I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be easy to get around and it wasn't. And I
I'm
thought
learning so much today.
learning so much. I thought Ia was where we were going to be picked up on the boat. So I thought that was our last
Mhm.
stop. And I thought that's where we were going to get to spend the most time. 20 minutes. And this was a slow port day. You see my air quotes. So there were three ships, including us, in the port. And it didn't feel super crowded. To be fair, it didn't feel super crowded.
Yeah, okay.
Peak season, there are eight.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever go to Santorini peak season.
When is considered peak season for Greek cruises? What would
Summertime.
you say?
Summertime.
Summertime?
Mm-hmm.
May through August?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was hot. It was really hot. But so we did get our pictures with the blue dome. I felt incredibly rushed. And then we get to Fia, which is a bigger town and there's more shopping and that's where we had a really good Euro. It was great. But we didn't have a prearranged transportation back. So we had to
Um,
either take the donkey down, take the 500 and something steps down, or take the cable car.
what did you pick?
We picked the cable car.
Oh
We
man,
it
I wanted you to say donkey so bad.
oh.
But I feel like you would have posted that to your story.
I would
You were
have, but
riding a
also
donkey.
like the cable car was paid for as part of our tour, so that was included, but we still
Yeah.
had to wait in line. It took us an hour from the moment we got in line to the moment we got to the tender to take us back to the boat. And that was a good day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we didn't do we left like 2 hours early because I was like, I'm worried about how long this line is gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm worried about getting back to the ship because I don't want to be left behind. So
Yeah.
that was a little frustrating.
I
So
can see that.
yeah, I think Santorini and Mykonos
And,
need to be a
and
land trip.
and like I said, I have not done very much research into these at all, just a teeny tiny bit. And I think that's the one thing that I well, like what you're talking about with the cable car and not getting like this sounds very common.
It
Yeah.
is, and it's worse when it's peak season, but like it's you get a taste of it, right? But all my clients that have gone to the islands, they have gone as part of land packages. They
Yes.
haven't done it as part of a cruise. So they've had more time. And like I think if I was to do Greece again, it's going to be on a land because then I can spend maybe I have 3 days in Santorini. One of those days is when the cruise people are there. Great. Then I'm just going to sit in my room while the cruise is here, and then the other 2 days I'm going to explore the island. But you have such, and we were in the port the longest out of all these ships that were
Mhm.
there. We were there the longest, but still, it was like
It's not enough.
it's not enough. I felt so stressed and rushed. I didn't like that. So Santorini is not my favorite because of that.
Hmm.
The next day, we were at Rhodes, which I didn't really know much about Rhodes. I'm just like it's a
I
stop
don't
on
even
the.
know what road is. I
It's
didn't
fine,
even know it existed until this podcast.
right? It's
What
fine.
is it? What is
It's
roads?
it's a Greek island. Um,
Okay.
he told us some amazing history about Rhodes.
Do you remember it?
Um, no.
All right, next time you do one of these type trips, I'm gonna need you to like audio record things
Well,
to
it
return and tell me.
it wasn't rooted in as much Greek mythology. So it
Okay.
what he was telling us was interesting, but it wasn't like piquing my interest a ton. It was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
Rhodes is still it's a working medieval town that is still there. Greece in general, olives are the thing. There's olive trees everywhere. Okay. But Rhodes, one of the things that they are known for is their pottery, and there's actually only 8 families that still do pottery.
Oh, this is the day you did the
This
thing.
is the day I did not ghost. Okay. So one of the excursions was pottery making, and I
Mhm.
was fascinated by this. I thought this was going to be a really cool excursion because most of the other excursions were going to the beach. And listen, I can go to the beach anywhere,
Yeah,
but
agreed.
make pottery anywhere. So we went to this place. It was so interesting. We were watching this one guy hand carve this pottery, another one hand paint it. The only bummer, so my nails are too long. That's on me. That's on me.
Yeah.
But you didn't
You never know when
really,
you need to have pottery hands ready to go.
I know, I didn't even think about it. We didn't really get to make the pottery.
Oh,
So like I did make it, but the master potter who didn't speak any English and had a translator finished it for you.
okay. So what'd you do? Like shape it a little bit?
I did. I shaped it a little bit. I shaped it a little bit. I shaped it a little bit, but he perfected it because and
Hmm.
I get it actually. It makes sense. When they fire it and do all that, they if it's an uneven size, it can break. So they don't want it to
Hmm.
break, so they want your piece to be great, so they fix it for you.
That makes sense.
Included with the short excursion was the pottery and the shipping of it to you. You could pay
Nice.
extra to have a design and a color. Like, obviously, add a design and a color. So I made a bowl and we're adding their deer design to it. And then Joe made a cup, obviously. And we're adding my Alonzi Travel logo to it.
But you don't have them yet. They're not in your possession.
They said it's gonna take 15 weeks.
A long time.
And yeah, because the drying process, the glazing process, the design process, like all of that, I think quickly it would take 8 weeks. But because they have other things to produce and stuff, that's why they said plus the shipping time is 15 weeks.
But I did see you post some pottery. Is that pottery you bought extra
Yes.
or
Yes, the
okay?
that pottery, so the bowl that I bought is the bowl that we made, but it's going to be a different design when we get it. But I'm like, well, we'll have two bowls. And then the vase that I bought is a specific type of design that is unique to Rhodes. That's where it originated. And the design is one that they've created there themselves. And like, it was beautiful. So, yes,
Mhm.
we brought some home. It was not cheap.
I would not imagine that it was cheap.
No, the bowl
Uh,
was, I think, 50 euro and the vase was 200 euro.
wow, for the vase.
For the vase. Yeah. But it was great. And then afterwards, we had some time to explore Rhodes. We got another gyro. It was great. We walked around. We saw I mean, there's grease cats everywhere, by the way. So my cat lovers, like, they are everywhere. And they are well taken care of and they are well fed. Don't worry. They're taken care of. And this was a traditional pier. So we just had to walk back to the pier. Super, super easy. But I enjoyed Rhodes. I wouldn't say it was my favorite port, but
Mhm.
I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Santorini.
I like an activity myself. Like I
Yeah.
would have liked the pottery stuff. Well, okay, I say I would like it, but then I would probably be bad at it and then I would get frustrated because that's how I get with arts and crafts, but
Well, and
I would
that's
try.
what I was afraid of too. But then that when I saw that there was a guy who was going to perfect your thing, I was like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm not taking home a janky piece of garbage. This guy's going to
Yeah.
make it look good. And I know that my hands were at least touched it for 30 seconds.
Yeah. You did this.
Yeah, I did. It's on video. I did it. It's fine. Okay, so that's all roads.
Where'd you go next?
Bodrum, Turkey. And this was the one I was like, I don't give two poops about.
Yeah.
Like, there's always one port, right? Um,
Yeah.
oh, and I should say actually, our tour guide for Rhodes, he was great. He had some amazing stories, really interesting guy. Bodrum, 100% not great.
So you did a tour?
I always, we
Yeah.
did all of these were shore things because I wanted to see Virgin's quality of shore things
Mhm.
and just I have to do something every port.
Yeah.
This one, Bodrum, Turkey, so Turkish baths are a big thing. So some of the things you could do
Ooh.
was visit a Turkish bath, go to the beach, or this one is the one that we did. We went
I've
to
done the Turkish bath.
yeah, okay. We went
Yeah.
to Ephesus, which is an ancient historically preserved city, and it also is allegedly where the house of the Virgin Mary is. Okay.
Okay. What's the House of the Virgin Mary?
It's where the Virgin Mary lived.
Oh, okay. Great.
It's allegedly because, women weren't considered in
Yeah,
history.
you didn't write their history down.
Right.
Like,
So the only
yeah.
reason they think that is because no, not John the Baptist. John the Baptist? John the Baptist. Apostle John wrote about it.
That's John the Baptist.
So it was him. And they're like, well, he was taking care of Mary, so that must be where Mary lived. Okay. So, um, two popes have blessed the area. It's fine. So you can get holy water there. Our tour guide was like, you could drink it. You could drink it. Um, your body's not used to the biomes, so you
Yeah.
might be paying a price. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's like
Mexico, I'm not drinking
Mexico
that.
water.
I'm
Yeah.
not drinking
Gucci
that.
can of water. We ain't
Nope.
doing that.
I'll splash my hands in it, but that's as far as we're going. I'm not getting Montezuma's revenge in Turkey.
Oh,
So, I mean,
yeah.
blessed water is not going to keep you from getting some disease, or not disease, but like bacterial infection.
Like, yeah.
It's fine. So we went there first, and then we went to the Ephesus ruins. And the reason they're so well preserved is because there
Mhm.
was a giant earthquake, and the people there were like, "Well, we're not going back here.
I,
We're gonna be smothered. We're not gonna rebuild it. We're gonna
we're
rebuild
out.
somebody else." So a lot of it was covered in the there was landslide. So
The
because
mud.
yeah, so it was a lot of it was covered, so they've done a lot of excavation work because Turkey and like Greece and Turkey, they are relatively young countries. They've been conquered by many different nationalities, especially
Hmm.
Greece. So like the thing is when they're conquered by like Napoleon or the Persians, they come in and they're like, well, we don't recognize this, so we're going to chop this
Demolish it.
down and make our
Yeah.
own thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that explains a lot about the history and why their stuff isn't as well preserved because the conquering nation would come over and be like, this is over.
We're out of
So
here.
that's why
Yeah.
Ephesus was so well preserved is because it was in a landslide. Only 30% of it has been excavated. The reason I say our tour guide was horrible, this man could not stop talking about himself. Like,
Nobody cares about you.
I do not care. I do not care. And
No.
he would just like stop in random places and gave us like no time to see the library, the big structure that I posted about. It was beautiful. He gave us 10 minutes.
No.
And that was no time. But meanwhile, we'll go stand over in a walkway for 20 minutes talking about your family's farm. Make it make sense.
Oh no, I would have issues with that.
I was annoyed. And this is why I do private tours, people, because that would not happen on a private tour. And this already was a small group tour. So it was already not a lot of people, but it was just, I didn't love it. The ruins were really nice, but we didn't get enough information about them. And then what set me into a rage, okay? The day before, we got a pop-up on the Virgin app that said that our excursion was going to take us to a Turkish rug place where we were going to get a presentation, but we were in no obligation to buy. I'm like,
Okay.
great. Okay, cool. So our lunch was at this place. The lunch was terrible. And
Oh.
part of the excursion was seeing a traditional Turkish dance. Well, where they had us seated, you could not see it.
Mm.
So, but I got up and walked to where I could see it, and I saw it for like 1 minute. I walked back, and Joe's like, "So how was it?" I'm like, "It's like the guy from Elf in the mailroom when he's doing the. It's like that." Yes,
Arms with
yes,
arms.
yes. That is what it is like. And then I was also thinking of that Rasputin. So that's also kind of like Turkish dancing, you know? Anyways, so then they take us and they teach us about how Turkish rugs are made. And we are watching somebody hand weave a silk one and then
What
weave
was
a
that
wool one.
interesting?
It was interesting until they took us back to the rugs and sales pitched us like we were trying to buy a GD timeshare. So like
Yep.
if you express like they just kept coming in. It first started out with one
Uh,
guy talking about the rugs and then two guys rolling them out. And then when he was done talking about all the different rugs, and they were beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, they were
mhm.
beautiful. Then he started telling us the price. This one, like it was like a wall hanging, right? Was $800. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna buy this. This doesn't go with my aesthetic. I don't need to spend $800 on this rug. Like, yes, it's handmade. I recognize the beauty of it. I'm not spending that much money on this. Um, then they kept coming in, and a couple people were interested. So I think there was like 10 salespeople in this tiny room by the time we were done. And I looked at Joe and I'm like, I hate this. I hate this. And he made to me a comment. And he's like, well, we should bring one home. Three salespeople came over, and I was like, Joseph, sharks in the water. You just got
I
a paper cut, and they can smell the blood.
I can't imagine how much that would cost to purchase the rug and then get it to
Well, the
home.
rug price included shipping.
Hmm.
So like that's nice, but then I'm not buying a rug. So they come over and he's like, Joe made one comment and the guy's like, well, what about this one? I looked the salesperson down the face. I'm like, we're not buying anything. And
I wouldn't want to be.
I was pissed,
I mean,
actually.
I get mad enough. Like Cozumel. Let's talk about Cozumel as a port, right? Like the vendors at Cozumel make me so mad because they are very aggressive and they talk to my children. I would be livid if I had an excursion booked and it turned into a sales presentation for rugs.
I was
Like,
pissed.
I would probably fill out some feedback
Oh, I did
to Virgin.
twice.
I know you did, but
Twice.
like that would be
I was pissed. And like he kept trying to sell him on, and Joe would like make comments like he was interested in selling. And I'm like, no, we aren't. I looked the sales guy down in the face. I'm like, we're not buying anything.
mhm.
And then I looked at Joe. I'm like, I'm done. To the guy, where's the exit? And the guy's like, you go out this way. Because they had us in a back room, Katie. A back room. And I'm like, where? Nope. I'm not claustrophobic. But the
No,
second you make me feel like I can't leave, oh no.
no.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
So we left and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And we were the only ones outside. And I think we opened the floodgates for other people to be like, oh yeah, we don't want to be in here either. And
Yeah,
our tour guide was out there and he's like, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I just don't appreciate being sold to. I was
yeah.
pissed, actually. And I like
I would have been too.
it
I
ruined it ruined the whole day, in my opinion. Like, first of all, our tour guide could not stop talking about himself. And then there's a Turkish dance that you seat us in a spot where we can't even see it. You serve us food that is not good, and then you push your wares on me? No.
mhm.
Pissed.
Yeah.
And then he makes a comment about gratuities. Like gratuities aren't necessary, but he was the only one, by the way, that said this. Gratuities aren't necessary, but
Lucky
they're
me.
nice. And the person in front of me was like, are we supposed to give that to you now? And I looked at him like, I'm not giving him anything. You kidding me? He's not getting a cent of my money.
No. Mm-mm.
I was so mad. And he gave us all a feedback form. And on that feedback form, I was like, I think it's ridiculous that we had to sit and be sold to. This was ridiculous. And I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
So
No, I
Bodrum,
would be so mad.
I,
Stay
I,
on the
I was
ship.
I was okay with Bodrum until that. Because we
Yeah.
even like once we left the ruins, they had this like little market where people were super pushy. I bought a giant bag of saffron for $10.
Hey, that's a steal.
It's a steal.
That's a steal.
And we got fresh pressed pomegranate orange juice. It was
That sounds
delicious.
delicious.
It was delicious.
So just go explore the market and not do any type of tour and get back on the boat.
I would do a private tour because like I don't
Okay.
feel like I got enough of the history. I don't feel like I got enough of any of that. And like I'm annoyed. I'm still annoyed about Bodrum, obviously.
Mhm.
Obviously. So that, but whatever. Because it's a 2.5 hour drive each way to get to Ephesus. So that's your entire day. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not
So
a
it's your,
fan.
yeah. So it's your entire day. And so whatever. Once we got back to the port, we had to get back on the ship. And then that day, no, the next day is the sea day. Okay. The next day is the sea day. The next day is the sea day.
Okay,
So the
love it,
sea
sea
day
day.
we did because we did the Splash of Romance package. We did our thermal day. We had brunch at the wake. There was like several little things that we did, and we had a champagne and fried chicken thing.
I saw that. That looked so fun.
Yeah, so funny story. There was supposed to be 6 total people there. We were the only 2 that showed up.
What? Where were they?
So the guy's like, "All right, well, you get a private tasting," and we had Monet and Chandon, um, the orange one, the one with starts with a V. I always can't pronounce it, but it starts with a V and it's an orange label.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
Dom
mm-hmm.
Perignon. Great, great, great. And
And
it
fried chicken.
paired great with fried chicken.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? And
I mean,
so we had big pieces of fried chicken, these full glasses of champagne. It was great. And he told, because we've been to Champagne, and our sommelier told us things
mhm.
about Champagne that we didn't even learn. So it was wonderful. And at dinner, he gave us a tasting of a wine because he was so nice, and we were the only people there.
I would have loved that though. I would have absolutely loved that. Like,
I do and I
sign
don't.
me
Like
up.
I like to, I like to record what I'm doing and all that stuff. So like I can blend in the background a little bit more when there's more people. You can't really do that when it's one-on-one, but then like you can talk and ask more questions when it's one-on-one.
I would have felt less self-conscious about recording if I was one-on-one. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna shoot a video real fast. You cool? All right.
No, I'm more self-conscious about it when it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mm-mm.
So we did that,
It is funny.
and 30 minutes before that tasting is when we got the notification that we weren't going to Mykonos. And this is like
Mm.
2, almost 3 p.m. when we got that notification. And I'm just like, what are we going to do? I know nothing about Crete. None of the shore excursions are loading, so I have no idea what we're going to do. What are we gonna do? So we did the champagne
Hmm.
tasting, and afterwards we're like, okay, now the shore excursions are loaded. They weren't great. The options weren't great. We had 3 excursions set for Mykonos. We had a wine tasting, we had a walkabout, and we had a brewery. And I was excited about all of them, and all of them got canceled, obviously. Luckily, we booked with Virgin, so we got all of our money back. But there's
Good.
lots of people who didn't book with Virgin, and a lot of that stuff is non-refundable. Some people booked hotel rooms for that night. Like, th-
Oh, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that because
yeah,
it's the
so like
overnight.
a perk of booking with Virgin is we did get all of our money back. So that was
Hmm.
nice. But we were scrambling and they didn't have any shore excursions for the first day that we were in Crete, obviously, because they didn't expect us to be there. So our first day in Crete, we're like, well, what are we going to do? And Joe was like, well, let's rent a car. Like, okay, great. So we can go to a beach, we can go to this other spot. It was okay. The first place we went, it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
So we left there kind of quickly. And the drive to the beach was kind of far. It was like a 2.5 hour drive, but it was a
Hmm.
really nice drive. The beach was beautiful. That's where I did my yoga thingy. It was really nice. And then on the way back, we stopped at this little taverna and had amazing home cooked Greek food. It was amazing.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was so good. It was a nice end to the night. Great. And then the next day, Joe and I did different port excursions because there was a brewery one. I don't like beer, and it didn't say that there was going to be a winery. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'll just do a generic Crete tour. And this is where I appreciated Crete. Crete is beautiful, actually. Crete is,
Yeah, I've heard that it's beautiful.
it is. It's really, I would go back there. And Crete is the birthplace of Zeus. So
Didn't know that.
didn't I?
Or maybe I did back in elementary school.
Right. Like I did, but I
Yeah.
didn't. It's also where King Minos was, which is
Okay.
he's the father of the Minotaur.
Hmm.
Okay. So we learned some Greek mythology, and I was like, okay, great, love this. The
Yeah.
oldest olive tree is there. It's over 1,000 years old. Hmm.
That's interesting. I
Olives
love
everywhere,
that.
fig trees everywhere, dates. Like it's the land of plenty. Okay.
Mm.
So the tour guide herself, she was great. She had tons of information. The tour itself was stupid.
Stupid one.
The first stop, we just stopped in this little town and we just walked around.
Oh.
Like, I'm like, what are we doing here? What we didn't go in anywhere. There's no
Mm.
markets. Like it was literally just a small little town. We were there for no reason. Okay, great. Then we go to a monastery for no reason. It's not a
Hmm.
working monastery. They gave us the most awful Rocky I've ever had. So Rocky is their limoncello. Okay, it's
Yeah.
their spirit. It was awful. And then we went to a winery, which wasn't a winery. They took us to a souvenir shop and we tried one glass of wine, which was the worst glass of wine I've ever had. And then they took us
Hang
to
on. I'm laughing so hard because it reminds me, I don't remember where we were in Mexico one time. And we like to buy coffee beans. You know, we're big coffee people. We like to buy whole beans to bring home for our espresso. And we're walking all around this port and we're like looking for coffee beans. And we start talking to one vendor, and he was like, oh, yeah, y'all come in here. He did not have coffee beans. He had coffee infused tequila. We did try it. We didn't buy it. But anyway, that just going to a souvenir shop that's calling itself a winery reminds me of
well,
me
it
getting
it was a
tequila
winery,
flavored
but we
coffee.
didn't get to see any of the winery.
Oh, so like they didn't take you in the.
No. And they also make Rocky and they make olive oil, but we didn't try like any of that. We tried
I don't know what Rocky is.
like I said, it's their limoncello. It's
Oh, okay.
it's their liqueur. It doesn't taste nearly as good as
Okay.
limoncello, but it's their regional liqueur. Okay.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Awful. The wine was awful. The food was not like the whole thing. I'm just like scratching my head, like, what the heck are we doing? And then we get taken to the old town, which has the beautiful Venetian port. We have 20 minutes. I'm like, how am I? Actually, I'm sorry, 45. And it's prime lunchtime. I'm starving. And I'm like, I would like to have a gyro one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Psych. Nope. You don't have enough time to do any of that. So, but I would go back to Crete because it is beautiful. There is a
Mm-hmm.
lot to see there. The food that we had was good when we did get to have food, but I don't know.
So far, my opinion is you love Virgin Voyage, right? I know you do. You love everything on the ship. Your food is always phenomenal. You were not impressed with a Greek cruise.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
But so the crowd was also a lot older.
understandable.
And it was the shore excursions. I think I just need
Yeah,
to do private tours. I hate to sound like a bougie person, but like
I don't think so. I don't think you're.
if it was a private tour, I could have been like, "Oh, well, we're in Old Town now. Can you show us a great place to get some food?" Like I just
Mm,
group tours are not for me.
yeah,
They're not for me, especially this last one. It was a big group tour. And we had so few options, right? So we're just kind of scrambling to book it in the first place. I never book more large group tours. If there's more than 20 people in the group, you will never
yeah.
see me in
No,
it.
no, I would never.
And
Mm-mm.
this was a big charter bus. I'm like, I hate this.
What's that? Agoraphobia.
Yeah, tell me about it. So like,
Yeah,
but I think this is just there was to be a problem. It doesn't matter what cruise line it is. I think they all would have been like this. So, lesson learned for
yeah.
me, just I need to book my own stuff. I need to book my own stuff.
Hmm.
But I needed to experience it through Virgin. And like I said, it was good because Mykonos, I did get my money back.
Still do get the convenience of look at all of these places you went with only booking one accommodation,
Hmm.
not worrying about how you're going to get to place to place. So that is the convenience of it. But there are some drawbacks, like you didn't get to go to Mykonos. You only
Hmm.
had a limited amount of time in Santorini. So it's good and
It's a
bad.
good way, and this is how I look at all cruises. It's a good way to see, oh, do I want to come back here? And
Agreed.
Joe was like,
Agreed.
I don't want to come back here. And I'm like, if I do, it has to be a land tour.
Yeah.
And it has to be in October or November.
Hmm.
Too hot.
Hmm.
So, these are all things that we learned. But the ship itself, so they're also because it was longer days in port, there weren't as many onboard activities as I was expecting. So I had expected some more workout classes. There weren't really any workout classes. It was just less. So I feel like to get the best Virgin experience, you need to have a Caribbean cruise out of Miami because
Yeah.
those are just going to have the full range. And that's probably across the board with other Mediterranean cruises because they're expecting you to be in the port. They don't have much going on the
Hmm.
ship,
Hmm.
and that's fine. Um, you don't have on here the food. So,
I do. I do. I said onboard dining.
I skipped over. Okay. So we did go to all the restaurants except for Ganube and Razzle Dazzle. Ganube I don't like because it's like it's not it's Korean barbecue, but you sit with
Mm.
strangers and they do drinking games and stuff, and I don't like that.
Oh, agoraphobia.
Yeah, so I don't do that. And then Razzle Dazzle, we've been there before and I didn't like the food, so we didn't bother with it.
Yeah.
Um, my biggest pet peeve, we'll talk about favorites in a minute, but my biggest pet peeve, no one but our stateroom attendant seemed happy that we were on the ship, crew-wise.
Oh, that's
It
interesting.
and I love how I'm treated on Disney. I feel like the Disney crew just love you no matter where, like, even the people cleaning the ship will say hello to you. Like, we felt ignored is the best. Well, I'm not going to speak for Joe. I'm going to speak for myself. I felt ignored, and at Extra Virgin, I was mad because we were there for 2 hours. We should not have been there for 2 hours. We were there for an hour.
No.
And the reason we started talking to the couple next to us is it took forever for our appetizers to come out. They got their food before us and they were set after us.
Mm,
And then we were waiting literally 30 minutes, both of us, for our entrees. It's Italian food.
that should not be.
He looked at us and he's like, have y'all been waiting a long time? I'm like, yeah, we've been waiting a very long time, and y'all got your food before us, and we were here before you. They didn't even bring us a dessert menu. And when she did, I was like, this all looks, I was mad by then and I wanted to leave. I'm like, this looks like garbage. I don't want any of this.
Hmm.
So I don't know. The service staff on board needs a lot of work, but the Persephone show was great. Lola's library was great. The shows that we went to, they were very unique and I was highly entertained. The bars are all really nice. The cocktails that they have are really inventive. Like, I like the ship. The pizza
Yeah.
place, always great. The
Yeah, the
galley for
best.
breakfast and lunch, always great. But I was frustrated with the staff.
I can see that.
It's like,
Yeah.
but Disney does it best. And in my
It's
survey, that's what I said.
yeah, it's hard to beat Disney's customer service, but if I was a billionaire and I just started my own cruise line for funsies, okay, that's what I would emulate. Like I would be like, this is how you should treat everyone, you know,
And the happenings cast, which is their like, what do they call?
entertainment, hype crew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They all were
Yeah.
super friendly,
Yeah.
but that was it.
Hmm.
Like it's kind of a bummer. But I mean, the food was still good. Everything I ate, I still enjoyed. I had no complaints other than the steak at the wake needs frickin' salt. It's like they just threw the filet on the grill and didn't season it at all.
You know, I never have to salt my food when I cook at home because I salt while I'm cooking. But very frequently at restaurants, I feel like you have to do a little bit of salt. And you know, it's a great cruise. You said it's already an older crowd. They're just trying to keep their blood pressures down. Like that's it.
That's what I said. I'm like, they're not using salt because there's a bunch of old people on this ship. But I
Yeah.
mean, the food is still good. Like every
Yeah.
restaurant we went to, I was still happy with the food that I got. The galley is a great concept. It's a food hall, and none of
Hmm.
that food tastes like cafeteria food. So like they still deliver on food.
Yeah.
The drinks are still a great price, and they do a good job with the drinks. So like overall, Virgin is
Did
still
you have
a
the bell this
what?
there was
Oh, the
something
shake
your
for
last one?
champagne. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
working on my app, so I didn't get to do it.
Oh. Yeah, that's what it was. You
The shake
shook
for
the phone.
champagne.
I was like, what? I remembered and I couldn't
Shake for
remember.
champagne. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
working. So,
Oh,
so my it's hard for a favorite moment because I was like, I was kind of in a funk. Like not being able to go to Mykonos kind of pissed me off. But
yeah.
I mean, my tattoo was fun.
Yeah, it's lovely. I love it.
It's got,
And we kind of already touched on regrets or things that you would do differently. Like you're mad about Mykonos
yeah.
and you would have done more private, cater towards what you wanted to do versus group activities.
Yeah, and like I'm not mad I went on this cruise. I don't wish I hadn't gone on this cruise. I think it was a great learning experience. I think it was a great vacation. I enjoyed most of it. I don't really have a standout moment though.
N- If you had someone who, new client intake, you're going to have a call, they want to go to Greece. It's like a bucket list thing for them. Are you going to push them more into a Greece land trip or a cruise?
It's gonna be based case by case basis because I've got
Yeah,
some, if you want the Greece beach experience and you want to soak it in, it needs to be a land because
yeah.
you are too rushed. I think that's kind of the theme of this is I felt rushed. And in the destinations. So if you don't want that, then the cruise is not a good idea for you. But if you're like, I just want a taste of it, I don't know what exactly
Mm.
I want, so I just want a little tasty taste to see what I want to circle back to, then the cruise is perfect. Because that's exactly like I would go back to Crete. I would go to Mykonos again. I'd spend some more
Yeah.
time at Santorini, and I'd do an island that like is not as
So,
common.
so like if you wanted in 5 years to do a Greece land trip, you know exactly what you would want now.
Right, because now
Yeah.
that I've had the taste, now I know kind of what to expect.
Mhm.
we're good to go. But before that, I'm like, I actually have no idea. So let me do the cruise. So it depends on the person, but cruise is a good
Yeah.
way to like figure out if you even want to spend more time in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think we feel like we covered almost
I mean, I think let's just call it
everything.
out specifically though.
What?
So ask me the question.
Oh, how does Virgin feel different than other cruise lines you've experienced?
It's definitely a, and we've said this in we've only done one other Virgin video, so we need to
It's a
add
good one
more to
though.
our library. Yes,
Yeah,
but
go watch that one.
Virgin is definitely a come as you are, which I really enjoy. It doesn't feel pretentious. It doesn't feel like you have to put on a face that isn't you. Just you be authentically you, and you can exist however you want to exist, which I really enjoy. And the entertainment is unique. It's not traditional Broadway shows, which I also really appreciate. I love Broadway, but I also can get tired of it. So having like Cirque du Soleil type of stuff or burlesque type stuff, like it is very interesting, avant-garde stuff. I'm into it. And the staterooms are more like a hotel room. They
Yeah,
don't feel nautical or anything like that. It's nice. It's nice to not have to pay gratuities for everything. Having the gratuities included is amazing.
nice. Mm-hmm.
Having adult experiences throughout the ship and not a bazillion trivia nights like we did. They had a summer camp craft and we made friendship bracelets. Like that was
Oh,
fun.
that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
had a
cute.
ton of really cute, interesting when they did activities. They had
Mm-hmm.
workout classes, like, but I think the biggest thing is you don't have to be an alternative person to enjoy this cruise line.
Yeah, makes
That-
sense.
That's how people felt in the beginning, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not how it is. And I really enjoy just like existing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Last question. We'll wrap it up. What do you think people need to know before sailing with Virgin?
I mean, kind of like I said, like it's whatever you want it to be. So if you want to be crazy and party and
Mhm.
do all the extreme things, you can do that. But if you want to do a puzzle, read a book, have a nice dinner, you can
Take
do that.
history tours.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah.
It there's a lot of really great things about Virgin and it's a great age range too. I think 30 up to
Mhm.
60. So it's a really big age range and it's really great and they've got a lot of ports, but I would say if you're curious about Virgin, start with Miami because that's where their home port is.
Yeah.
That's where the Bimini Island Club is. Like that's where
Mhm.
I would start. And they have a lot of 4 and 5 night sailings, which are a perfect length of cruise to kind of get a feel if you like something or not.
Yeah.
But we can help you with that. And prepaid gratuity, although they're changing things, we just got
Oh,
an update today, but gratuities are still included and you don't have to worry about that, which I really enjoy. So we would love to get you sailing on Virgin. I hope this got you excited. I know, like, I kind of feel like it was a little bit of a Debbie Downer. I had a great time.
but it was an honest conversation.
Yeah.
I think that, not every trip recap you're ever going to hear us say is "We had the best time ever," because not every trip is the best time ever.
Right.
And
It was
yeah,
a learning experience.
hmm
We had some good food. I I'm not sure how fast I would go back to Greece just in general. I don't know if that's
yeah.
like a priority for me personally to go back, but other people might be obsessed with it, you know? But
Well, and Greece
I
is very hot right now. Everybody wants to go to Greece right now. It's very trendy.
yeah.
And sometimes when locations become trendy, they become overloaded. And we
Yes.
just wait. We wait for it to not be trending and then we'll go.
Yes, yes. So like I don't regret this trip at all. I'm glad that I took it. I'm glad we had the experiences that we had, and it just makes me a better travel agent for you. That way you have the best experience too. So, when you're ready to book your next Virgin voyage, Katie and I would love to help you. All of our links are in the bio. We have some great promotions for Virgin going on right now. We're booking through, I think, 2027. And
Hmm.
they've got lots of new destinations because they got a new ship that just launched earlier this month. So when you're ready to set sail, let us know. We can't wait to work with you. But until then, bye.
Bye.